All right. All right, so I'm Carolyn Cage. I'm a transition training associate with the Center on Transition Innovations at VCU, and also one of the project researchers for Transition Rehabilitation Research and Training Center. Very long title, but I will be your facilitator for this course. That role means I will respond to your emails, your questions about the course. I will be the person responding to you on the discussion board, and I will assist you in any way that I can. I'm going to get ready to share a screen. I'd like to know where you all are from. This is the first time I'm meeting you. If you don't mind unmuting and introducing yourselves, because you all will be working together doing this course, sort of, virtually at least.
Hey everybody, I'm Daniel Seacrest. I'm out of the Fishersville office of DARS. Good to meet you, Carolyn.
Welcome, Daniel.
I'm Stephanie Brown. I am with DARS in the Richmond office. I actually handle the Middle Peninsula counties, so I have very rural high schools that I work with.
Okay, welcome, Stephanie. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Katie Enix, and I am out of the Abingdon DARS office, so the far southwest region.
Great. So you all are used to the weather that we're about to get. And so going to be interesting, I'll tell you that much. All right. I am going to share my screen and you all let me know if you are able to see it. Are you good?
Yep.
Okay, great. All right. So just going to give you a quick overview of the study. Then we're going to give a quick overview of the course and what's required, and we'll discuss module 1. We will do one of these Zoom meetings at the beginning of each module. So this is just the first one, and we'll talk about the date for the next one. You will receive a Zoom link in a much more timely manner, I assure you. Okay, but you are part of a 5-year study that was through a grant that was awarded to VCU's Transition Research and Rehabilitation Research and Training Center by the National Institute on Disability, Independent Living, and Rehabilitation Research, also known as NIDLR. And we're in phase 3 of that 5-year grant. And this study focuses on understanding how to best share and use resources about pre-employment service, transition services, or Pre-ETS for students with significant disabilities. You're participating in this 3rd phase by taking this course. We're exploring the most effective ways to present information about Pre-ETS and how people access it, how students will be able to access it and use it, and the outcomes of its use. Okay, so we have created this toolkit and this course so that to help with Pre-ETS delivery, to see how knowledge translation works for delivery of Pre-ETS services specifically designed for VR counselors. This project, as I don't know if you're aware, most of the emails that you've been receiving have been from our wonderful primary investigator, Stephanie Lau. However, Stephanie has just been fortunate to accept a position with NIDLR, so she will no longer be with VCU, and though we're really going to miss her, this transition is the reason why we're kind of pivoting to get some things done today. So again, we apologize for the lateness of the information, but everything else will be in place moving forward. All right, going on about the course, it specifically supports providing job exploration, workplace readiness skills, and introducing community-based work experience for students aged 14 to 16 with significant disabilities. Now, while Pre-ETS typically includes work experience, we've modified this to fit younger students who may not yet be eligible for work. And instead, we're focusing on creating a single community-based work experience tailored to their needs. So we won't cover all the areas of Pre-ETS, just those 3: job exploration, workplace readiness, and community-based work experience. The goal of this study is to find ways to increase access to pre-ETS for younger students and those with significant disabilities. These groups often miss out on these services, even though they can be critical for their transition to either additional pre-ETS or vocational rehabilitation services, and of course, life after high school. So that's why we have this course. We had the first phase of the study. We collected information from counselors like you and from other stakeholders, parents, educators, and we found that this was the group that was most in need of it. The second phase of the study, we piloted the toolkit that you will have access to just to tweak and see what might be most effective. And now you're in the phase where you get to actually see it, give us feedback by taking this course. Okay, so again, if there are any questions at any point while we're talking, while we have this session, please let us know. Now, are all of you familiar with Canvas, with this kind of platform?
Yes.
I am not. This is Stephanie. I'm not familiar
Okay.
with this.
All right, Stephanie. I'm going to review the course and kind of walk you through what you're seeing. If you can see, you're on the student view. This is what it will look like for you. But if ever you have any questions, feel free to reach out if you have trouble getting through the course. And also, there are some tutorials on Canvas that's on our platform that I can direct you to that will help you with navigating the course. I'm your facilitator, but you also are fortunate to have Lucian Friel, who's with BCU. You will be able to reach him for any kind of tech support if you run into any problems with accessing the course. See if I can show. Okay. I thought we had him in here. Oh, there we go. Okay. So there you go. So that's me. And this is Lucian, and this is his email if you have any technical issues with accessing the course. This is, of course, is Dr. Lau, who will be leaving us soon, but has done an amazing job with getting this study up and running and continuing it. Okay. And if you need any more information on me, there it is. Okay. So this course is designed, it's pretty much typical as we do courses in Canvas. This course will run from January 13th, starting on Monday, you'll have access through March 24th, with all assignments completion due by April 6th, 2024. I'm sorry, 2025. I'm still in last year, forgive me. All right, so this course will run for about 12 weeks, and then you'll have an additional week to submit all of your assignments. The course is designed to be, the toolkit that you have is designed to be taught either in person or virtually. And it consists of 4 modules. Those modules are where you will find one or more of the lessons that will need to be completed. The modules include toolkit only, toolkit overview, and technology assessment, job exploration, workplace readiness skills, and community-based work experience. And those modules will be released according to a very specific schedule. So for example, module 1 will be released to you on Monday, okay? And if you want to keep track of when things are going to happen, be sure to check your announcements. There are course announcements that are submitted weekly, and they will guide you on how to schedule, and when things are due and when we're having these live Zoom sessions. Okay. All of the modules, as I said, include a detailed lesson plan, slide deck, a student workbook, pre and post quizzes for your students if you want to use them. All right, here we go. Okay. Slide deck, we got the slide deck, student workbook pages, pre and post quizzes, a lesson report template, and a discussion board. The discussion board is especially important because that's where you get to interact with each other. And this is also where you will have the opportunity to give us feedback on what your thoughts about the toolkit and about pre-ed service delivery for this particular population. Then there's a quiz for at the end of each module that's designed specifically for you as a participant. You have to pass that quiz with at least an 80. You get 2 opportunities to do so. And then we have a weekly reporting link. Now, this is especially important because, again, this is a research study. So this is how we're going to kind of gauge how the impact of this toolkit. So we're going to ask you to complete a weekly report form that to document your pre-ETS activities. Now, here's the thing. If you're not doing pre-ETS that particular week, it's okay. It won't count against you. We just are collecting data, okay? So we want to know who you did pre-ETS with for significant students with significant disabilities between the ages of 14 and 16. And so you just, it's a Google document, you complete it, and just send it in on a weekly basis, whether you're doing pre-ETS or not. And if you're using the toolkit or not, you do not have to use the toolkit. This toolkit in this course is designed, is a curriculum, but it can also be a supplement. But we just want to see, again, what is the best way to help you deliver pre-ETS services to the students that you work with. Then there's also going to be an action plan. And that is designed specifically for you to help you to deliver more effectively pre-ETS services. So there'll be a component of the action plan that you'll need to complete each lesson so that you are good with, you can start looking at how you can, again, more effectively deliver pre-ETS services. And we'll go over that action plan during each lesson, what component is it. And we'll start today with that first portion of the action plan that you do. I highly recommend that you download all documents and save them to a file. I'll probably say that more than once during this session. It's important so that you will have these documents available to you and you can complete them and not have to, download them every time, or you have everything in one place.
This is Stephanie. I have a quick question.
Sure.
On the students, you said ages 14 to 16. So do we like choose specific students and then those are the students that we work through the whole program with? Or do we just like whoever comes, we can work with them and, jot their progress down, or do we have to use the same subjects, I guess?
No, this is for your use, but we are collecting data on 14 to 16-year-olds. So yes, we would like for you to use that if you choose to use the toolkit with them. And it doesn't have to be the same group. It's whenever you're delivering pre-ETS services.
Carolyn, this is Stephanie. And apologies that I'm late. But can I, and if this wasn't confusing enough, this is Stephanie Lau. Can I answer Stephanie Brown too?
Go ahead. You're muted.
Can you still hear me?
Now
okay.
I can.
Okay. So Stephanie, all that I wanted to really say, that's a great question. As Carolyn was saying, is that this is really meant to be like a toolkit where if you wanted to take the entire thing as a curriculum and use it that way, you may, or if there are pieces that you want to use with the students that you are currently working with or will be working with, that's also what this was designed for. The course is really kind of systematically going through it section by section for you, just to make sure you understand how to use the toolkit and all of the materials. But so that said, this does not mean you can only do this with or work with 14 to 16-year-olds while you're in this course. Absolutely not. It is that if you have a student who's 15 and you use a component of your toolkit with that student, please report that as a weekly report form. Let us know, because we just want to make sure this is meeting the needs of pre-ETS counselors. Also, I just wanted to say that weekly reporting form is very, very quick. It is, I would say, no more than like a 5 at most 10 if you were just really doing a whole ton of pre-ETS and had a lot to share with us, but 5 to 10 minutes max of completing the form. Honestly, it will probably be most times 5 minutes or less. So we recognize that you guys are busy. This is not a heavy lift at all. But I just wanted to kind of like add that and then also answer your question, hopefully clarify that a little bit for you, Stephanie.
Thanks, Stephanie. Your
Thank you.
audio's a little muddled. I don't know if they heard everything, but did you get all of that, Stephanie Brown?
Yes, I did.
Great, great, great. Okay. All right, awesome. Okay. As you can see, we have a FAQ, frequently asked questions. So if you have any questions regarding with how to navigate the course, Stephanie or anyone else, feel free to look to those. And again, if you have any technical assistant questions, reach out to Lucian or contact me, and I'll be happy to help you. Okay. All right. So let's start taking a look further at this course. Okay, so module one, the modules are all going to be the same. You're going to see a lot of repetition in this course. Each of the modules start with an introduction and an overview of the lessons. And if there is more than one lesson, then you'll see the objectives. And then the toolkit is designed, just as Stephanie says, it can be used as a curriculum, it can be used as a supplement, you can use all of it, some of it, whatever works for you. You will always find, again, module objectives that are listed. And then if there's more than one lesson, you'll see lesson objectives. Module one is an overview of the toolkit and technology assistance, and the technology assessment, excuse me, the technology assessment. So you will find requirements for this particular lesson will always be listed in this blue box. And module one will run from January 13th through January 19th. So all assignments, your discussion board, your quiz, and that weekly reporting document will be due on Sunday, January 19th by midnight, okay? And then the first component of your action plan also will be due at that time. The technology assessment, let's go with materials again. You can see you have your action plan. These are the components of your lesson. First of all, of course, you've got to do the live Zoom session, and which we're in now. And then you have your download of your action plan, the technology assessment, the assessment form, technology instructions, email templates, and tips for assessment. So these are just everything that you'll need for lesson one. And the technology assessment was initially not part of the study that we were doing, but we found that it was necessary because as you go through this toolkit, you'll see that everything was pretty much you require some level of basic computer skills. And we created the assessment because this phase two was launched during 2020, during the pandemic, and students had to do everything virtually. So, but we realized that students were not always proficient with their technology skills. So we created this technology assessment so that we could determine where our students were in being able to access and complete assignments using their Chromebooks or whatever device they've been assigned. So it provides basic technology instruction, and it will help identify accommodations or modifications that may be necessary for students to be successful. So it also became evident that technology assessment is going to be helpful when considering students' career exploration and planning. For example, student technology skills could be taken into account when we're identifying students' strengths, interests, and planning their career pathways. So it is designed to be administered to students either individually or in a group, and we recommend that we do it before you start the first Pre-ETS lesson. Now, as I mentioned, every lesson in this course has a discussion board. So before Sunday, you will need to respond to these 2 discussion board questions. And module 1 is essentially an introduction to each other and to the course, and then finding out what other information that you would like. So what you do is you'll post your response by Friday this first week, and let folks know what you'll respond to the first 2 questions, and then you're going to respond to 2 other classmates or participants in the course by Sunday. So we strongly encourage you. I facilitate several courses for VCU, and I know people tend to wait to the last minute, but if you are able to do this during the week, we know your schedule is very busy, but the sooner you post, and you can post to someone else's response, it's always better so that you can have everything done by the weekend. So again, we ask that you do your first post by Friday, where you respond to those 2 questions, and that will allow your fellow group members to respond to you, or you give you an opportunity to respond to someone else's post. But there should be a total of 3 posts, your initial one, and then responding to 2 other group members. Okay. Any questions about the discussion board? And then if you saw in the course, if you review the course description, you will see where the rubric is for the discussion board, and that will help you. All you have to do is post. We do encourage you to give thoughtful responses, not yes, I agree, that kind of thing. And again, that information is in the discussion board description.
And, again, I'm sure Carolyn has said this, that, you will be getting CRC credits for the time that you do spend in the course. And we do recognize that this is time. So we want to make sure that you are eligible for those CRCs. And think about it this way, the more thoughtful you are in your responses, is not necessarily in this case for a grade per se, like in a regular class, but it's helpful for us from a research component to be able to understand what really are some of the concerns or issues that you have as pre-ETS counselors when it comes to providing pre-ETS. So that way, honestly, the more thoughtful and honest you are in your responses is information that we can take as we kind of prepare the final toolkit to be packaged and made publicly available, and then also future research too. What are some of the things that VCU, other people in the field need to know so that we can make pre-ETS an effective practice. So, and one other thing too, I couldn't find my unmute button fast enough earlier. When Carolyn was mentioning the technology assessment, because we did launch this in 2020, we did make it so that every component of the toolkit can be done virtually, but that does not mean it has to be done virtually, because again, it's a toolkit. So you take what you need and you use it in whatever manner works best for you. So if it is something where you want to have that virtual component or a computer technology based component because you want to practice technology skills with the individuals you're working with, that's great. But if you're also in a situation where you don't want to use the technology component for whatever reason, these are things that you can print off, you can download, and you can use your kind of more traditional paper and pen process.
And also, I did mention something that the technology assessment can be, I don't know if I mentioned that, but again, that it can be administered individually or in a group setting. Like I said, I tend to do it. I even added when we piloted the toolkit in phase 2, I found it helpful to do it, in a separate setting before we started lessons. We said that we would do it, prior to the start of the lessons. I just devoted a section to the technology assessment because it's important. It was good information to have. So yeah, thank you. Are you all still seeing my screen? Okay, good. The next thing that you'll is a quiz. There are quizzes for you, as that is part of the requirements in order to earn the CRCs. As I mentioned earlier, you do have to score at least an 80. And you will find some of the quizzes are a little longer than others. It really depends on the content that's in that particular lesson. This module 1 quiz has 20 questions, so that makes it kind of easier. But at some of your other lessons, the quizzes will be much shorter. So it just really depends on what the content of the lesson is. But again, you are required to score an 80. You get 2 attempts to do so. If you find that challenging, let me know. Just send me an email. Okay. Now, the action plan. Again, this is the way that we're going to ask you to create a plan that is designed for you to help you to deliver, take what you've learned from this course and deliver pre-ETS services to the group, the target group, or to whomever. This is your plan for pre-ETS delivery. We want you in this instance, and I'm going to click and let me know if you see this. We want, here's the template. Can everyone see that? Okay. The first assignment, you're going to be required to develop a SMART goal. And if you're not familiar with the process for a SMART goal, we have that information in there to help you to do that. But we want you to develop a SMART goal for what you would like to accomplish as a result of while you're in this course, and on how you would like to increase your pre-ETS service delivery or improve your pre-ETS service delivery. Okay. And we would like for you to write a paragraph about what you hope to achieve. And by taking this course, and again, summarize that as part within a SMART goal. And that will be due by January 19th. Okay. So that is essentially module 1. Are there any questions? Any concerns about what is required? Feel free to unmute. Okay. If everyone is clear, again, the course will be released. You'll get access to it Monday morning, January 13th. Our next live Zoom event is January 21st because the 20th is a holiday, but you will have access to module 2 on January 20th. But the live Zoom event will be for that particular module will be on January 21st at noon. So I look forward to seeing you there. Again, if you all have any questions or any challenge, yes, Daniel.
What should I do if I already have student meetings scheduled during the live Zoom session?
Oh, well, we are recording, and so you will get the link. And if you check your announcements on Canvas, there will be a link to the recording during that time that you can go back and watch. Okay. And again, feel free to email me, you all, at any time, because again, I will be responding to your discussion board. And if you have any questions or want to give feedback on any part of the toolkit, any issues with access, or any of the questions with the lesson plan, please let me know.
Yeah. And Carolyn, I'm going to take this opportunity to kind of also announce a slight change. I think a lot of you guys recognize my name from signing your consent, your informed consent documents, or any kind of communication that was coming through DARS related to the recruitment for this program. If you guys had questions, I know some of you guys have emailed me. So I did want to share with you that today is actually my last day with VCU. There is going to be a principal investigator change for this particular study. So you will still have a contact for any questions that you have in regards to this study, or to or like if you have questions about doing research as a whole within VCU. We will be sharing that new contact information both by email and through the Canvas announcement. We're just waiting for final IRB approval of the language that we can send out. So I am really sorry that I won't be able to work directly with Carolyn to see the full outcome of the rest of this study, but she is wonderful. She really is the workhorse for this entire project. So you guys are in great hands. And I'm still going to be probably checking in and making sure that like everything's going as well, because this has been such a important project. So thank you for the time and all the questions and all the little time I've had to interact with you guys. So thank you, but you guys are in great hands, and I can't wait to hear about what the final toolkit ends up looking like.
Right. If there are no other questions, I'm going to stop the recording, and we look forward